Hi, Sara. How are you? Is everything
Hi,
okay?
Andrea. Very well. And you?
Same here. So,
The we can, right? With this
yes,
situation, this complex situation.
exactly. So, we're going to talk about creativity. And here we have Sara. She's an architect from the FIU, and she's just willing to talk with us about creativity and how can we exercise it and a lot of stuff. So, hi, Sarah. Do you want to introduce yourself? Talk
Yes,
about
thank you,
you.
Andrea, and thank you for bringing this topic that has always been my passion and my concern. Yes, I'm an architect from Spain. I studied in Madrid, and afterwards I studied like a postgraduate in business. And then worked there and moved to Mexico because my husband is from Mexico and worked there, and then and got to know another culture, and then moved to Miami 7 years ago and studied a master at FIU and focused my thesis on really on international education and creativity and how to get trained in focusing our talent for the good. And yeah,
That's amazing.
thank you. And I'm surrounded by art,
Love it.
which I love.
Yeah, great.
Ideas, sketches.
Okay. So I have a few questions for you about this creativity. And well, first of all, I would like to know what is creativity for you?
Creativity can be defined, and it has been defined in many different ways, with very different focus. But it is interesting how it is a pretty recent concept from the 60s, 80s. Before, traits related to creativity were named under intelligence, imagination, or invention. No? Like my son, when he was small, he always wanted to be an inventor. No, like he showed like a high level of creativity, and but like always associated that with maybe becoming a scientist or like an inventor. But really, so it's good to understand now why we feel that creativity, or when we like, and how to focus it, because it doesn't have to be necessarily towards like invention or towards art. And we're going to talk later about that, no? How can be focused in many different ways.
Yeah.
But creativity has to do with a skill that anyone can develop further in order to think about things differently and produce new things or ideas that are valuable. And, I wonder what is your definition, or which is the definition of the listeners.
Well, um, yes, exactly. That's kind of the idea, like thinking differently, have a lot of different perspectives, and kind of work with what you have. Um, okay, so I want to ask you, why is so important to be creative?
Yeah, if properly used, it can help us to overcome difficulties, thrive, and enjoy life much more. Since when being creative, we are less likely to get stuck and tend to find a way to see things in a variety of ways. Um, Having therefore the possibility to have options and pick one that can be much more convenient to us. No? And we need to be creative to create ourselves and what we want to become. And for that, we need to discover ourselves and the world around us and be able to create over time the better versions of ourselves. Don't you think?
Yeah, exactly. It's about not just creating the work, but as you have here in your image, it's about creating yourself. So it's really amazing to see how our youth and our kids can start thinking about being creative, not just with everything they like. I don't know, with their school or art, but also with themselves. So it's really
Exactly.
It's really
exactly.
amazing.
We can shape ourselves. No, we are our own sculpture. Let's say, our own work of art.
Yeah, and as you say, how creativity is crucial to fulfillment and happiness.
Yeah, so creativity is crucial towards fulfillment, which I relate a lot to happiness, like because also happiness that could be part of another
Yeah, totally.
YouTube video or no, it's well, I understand happiness a lot, like to the extent that we are like feeling fulfilled in life, no? If we train ourselves to focus our creativity, talent, and skills for addressing our needs, then maybe we can feel good and useful and be able to exchange value and get support from others for addressing our own needs, and also helping and working for others in order to help them address their needs.
Okay.
And that's how really I understand society and economy work. Like they aim to address people's needs.
Yeah.
However, our system is pretty imperfect. So the better we can focus our talent, our creativity to improve it, the more well-being we'll find. And
Yeah.
build.
And I was just thinking that it's something we are willing to do, like as a nonprofit organization. That's like our final end, like for addressing people's needs. So yeah, I really love that idea about being creative.
Great. When I was studying architecture, it was all about architecture itself. Like,
Yeah.
and I love architecture, no? But you say, but everything was around architecture as an object, no? And then afterwards, I was thinking, well, architecture as an object is great, but how does this help, no?
Exactly.
And then, so it cannot be framed as an end. It has to be framed as something that solves people's needs, no?
Exactly.
And then I could enjoy more architecture, no? Like why and why does it help or why does it not? And then you really work your designs or your around this mindset, which is much better.
Yeah, I really love that. And well, continuing with this topic, how is it related to problem solutions? I mean, how can we show our youth and our kids to solve problems using creativity?
Yeah, well, the ability to think things differently can lead to solve the problem that was originated under other mentality. Like Einstein said, no problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. So we have to really do things differently. And for that, we have to think differently and be creative to find those ways.
Okay. So how could we be more creative? What tips do you have, or how can we exercise creativity?
Yeah, well, being exposed to a variety of ideas and environments, observing the world and the variety of solutions for different things, sketching buildings or houses and be able to pay attention to the array of solutions and details, and reading or listening to podcasts or on topics around your interests, or visiting art places and how art places and how artists interpreted the world and convey ideas in such different ways. Oh, listening, it's endless, no? Like listening, learning more than one language, which has shown to be like they're really for our brains.
I love that.
Because languages were created, artificially by humans, no? And are very related to history and culture. So, well, at least talking and training ourselves in another language, to feel the effort it takes and to also to use your brain differently. And then, well, exercising, as we were saying, being outdoors. Like indeed, scientific studies have shown how we get more creative when we stay active.
Active, moving your body.
Yeah. moving our body and exercising indeed generate new neurons
Oh, of course.
and help to see things more positively, and generate ideas and change. And so, yeah.
You really said something about being curious. It's something that we can do every time, like just being curious about everything.
Totally.
I love that.
Totally. Like, yeah, a few years ago, I was asked to go to my daughter's school and read something to the kids in Spanish because we were in an international program and they wanted to listen to other languages, no?
Oh, okay.
And they found it good, no, for the kids. And I thought, what could I read for them? No, what is really, because it's infinite, no? Like the possibilities are infinite.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked a small book that is about discoveries, no, and the character of Colon, Christopher Colon. And well, it was very nice because it was framed about the curiosity, that leads explorers to discover other places or ideas, and I love doing it, like talking about curiosity, because it's key. It's key to building ourselves, to discovering the world, and to stay generating value.
Mm-hmm. What do you do personally to be more creative? Like, what do you prefer?
Yeah, well, I've been listening to summaries of books around topics that interest me, like in an app that is called Blinkist, and then I can get a quick impression, no, of how the author frames that, and how different authors, think about that topic, so that way you see different perspectives. And well, also like going to art exhibitions, and of course, like at least twice a month, and exercising weekly, at least 3 days, which is like the minimum, I guess, recommended by the World Health Organization.
Oh, okay.
3 times a week, but not sometimes it's easy to find the time. No?